baby, never feeling stress.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
On second down, here's Bortles. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nigel Bradham, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Trying to lay one up deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. Back deep is Darren Sproles. The defending champion Eagles coming back out onto the field here, and they are back to 3-3 with a Thursday night road win, 34-13 in MetLife Stadium against the Giants. Now 8 straight primetime wins against the Giants. That's hard to believe.
In their long rivalry, which began in 1933, the Giants have controlled that rivalry for most of it. But with that win last Thursday night, the Eagles are now within 1 victory of tying it up all time. The Giants lead 86-85, 2 ties. And that does not count the war years where the Eagles combined with the Pittsburgh Steelers and were known as the Steagles.
Wow. One more useless fact. 1933, price of a loaf of bread, 7 cents.
There you go.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
In his own end zone, it's Wentz. He's got it complete to Perkins. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now it's Sproles. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Well, before Jacksonville gets the ball back here, let's look back to that Week 6 game against Dallas. The defense, I mean, look, the offense struggled, but the defense really struggled. Those first 4 weeks, they were as advertised. 56 points allowed total. 70 points, though, now given up the last 2 weeks, Charles.
Yeah, hard to believe. That win against New England, it seemed like a real establisher. You know, saying this team's going to be there all year long, and we're going back to at least the AFC Championship game. That's way in the rear view right now. They've been outscored 70-21 the last 2 weeks. And the defense has to take its share of blame. But at the same time, the offense not helping at all. They're -9 in turnover margin for the year. Blake Bortles has thrown 8 interceptions thus far against 9 touchdown passes. That ratio has to improve and get better. I won't leave it all on him, but the offense can't keep putting the defense in tough situations.
Bortles to throw on second down. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Fournette, a first down carry. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still second down.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down.
380.
After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
380.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
380.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. Here's Bohannon, the fullback, and he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down in distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
380.
They go play action here on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Wentz now on 1st down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now the rookie from Notre Dame, it's Josh Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wentz going to try and throw on third. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Here's Wentz to throw. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey from 19 yards away. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. Green to bring it back. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
get
this
a little
time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, zero, nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Sproles. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's the Eagles with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And take it right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard. Now Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball
incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And some room to maneuver. He's got the first down here inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19.
380.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. Gets around him. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run him with Sproles. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Wentz. Aguilar has it. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. Green to bring it back. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Bortles to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, Charles, after Kansas City losing to New England this past week, we only have one undefeated team remaining. The Rams, 6-0, and they barely beat Denver, but they got it done.
They certainly did. They actually set the pace in that game, Brandon. They got out to a pretty nice lead, and then Denver chopped into it, and the Rams held on late. But you can do that when you have Todd Gurley as your lead running back. Over 200 yards for him. The Rams, as you noted, the last undefeated team in the NFL, and no signs of cooling off, even though they had to go to Denver. Snow in Denver in October. And what was it at kickoff? 25 degrees?
25.
How about that? That didn't even cool those guys off.
And this week they'll be at San Francisco trying to get to 7-0. Or the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. And we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. 380.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
380. 380.
A handoff to Fournette. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Let's go, let's go.
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
380.
Throwing is Bortles. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Sproles. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Wentz now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. Well, this gives us a chance to look ahead to some big Week 7 games upcoming. New England, Chicago, that's intriguing. Carolina and Philly, you have that game. And then how about Dallas and Washington? They're a combined 6 and 5, but they're playing for first place in the NFC East.
And just think, Dallas and Washington fans, when they have children, the first words they teach them are, we hate that rival team. And now they're going to get after for first place in the East. The records aren't great, but the rivalry is strong. New England, Chicago let one get away last week against Miami, but still they have high hopes in the NFC North, and they get to test their mettle against a perennial champion, the New England Patriots. And Carolina, Philly. Carolina had a tough one in Washington last week. Philadelphia, big win last Thursday against New York Giants in New York. That's a big, big ball game for both of them.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Wentz to throw again. And Matthews has it right side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, it's Wentz. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wentz again. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon. So apparently neither guy is immune.
T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. On 1st down, Bortles. Going right, and that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Cole. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 380. Into the red zone. It's Bortles. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lambo will put this one through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he may even buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. On first down, Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Wentz now on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Green 80! Green 80!
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check! Green 80!
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 14.
Green 80!
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. 23 yards on the tuck and run. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse. And I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Two running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, it's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Well, switching gears for a second, let's talk about all the offense that's been going on around the league.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've had 3 games where each team has scored 40 points. That didn't happen all of last year. And the most recent example, Week 6, that incredible 43-40 Pats win over the Chiefs.
A lot of people talk about when you make rules changes or you emphasize certain things that you have unintended consequences. Let's not kid ourselves. This was the intended consequence. Open up offenses, more scoring. We're seeing that, and we're seeing it, and fans are loving it. Defensive coordinators are hating it, but fans are loving it. And how about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, that New England-Kansas City game? Big throw for big throw, touchdown for touchdown, and Brady guides them to a field goal to win it in the end.
Yeah, the elder statesman, because Patrick Mahomes was just 5 years old when Tom Brady threw his first touchdown pass in the NFL. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Fournette. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Corey Graham brings him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Green 80. Green 80.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And that'll be incomplete. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least one each week. Week 6, it was Miami and the Bears, with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record, because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
380. 380.
To throw is Bortles. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a
first
little
down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
380.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, switching gears for a second, a neat moment before Pittsburgh's game last week. Everybody knows James Conner and how he dealt with cancer. 10-year-old in the crowd, Charles, had a sign that he was holding, and this kid is also dealing with cancer. James Conner went over to him, met him, gave him a word of encouragement, and signed some things for him. That was really nice.
Really cool, isn't it? Because James Conner understands what that young man's going through. I believe his name is Levi. Got his attention. They're kindred spirits. And James Conner also showed him, by his play and being back out there, beat this, overcome it, and go out and live your life the way you want to live it. And he's living it in a big way in the NFL right now, having a terrific season.
And over 100 yards again this past week.
Yeah, what a great story and crucial catch month in the NFL.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run on first down. Adams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Come on now, let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Eagles on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
380.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Now a play fake. Bortles going up top. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Sproles the return. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Come on now, let's go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Flushed out right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that flag. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. To throw is Wentz. Fighting through. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jags. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing now is Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is on. Green is on.
On the run, it's Fournette. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Completes it to Moncrief left side. Three-quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
Let's go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. His throw incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is right.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey. Green 80.
Again, it's Bortles. They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Green 80.
Now Bortles again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Green 80.
Now Bortles got to have this one. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Green 80. Green 80.
Into the red zone. It's Bortles. And it's incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Green 80.
Fournette. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, That'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, Fournette. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
But a good play is made on defense. Oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned. All the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nigel Bradham getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. An Eagle first down. Wentz to Ertz.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
On 1st down, Bortles. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass.
Set. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Rashad Green, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Green 80.
To throw is Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Green 80.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Last year, the Jags had 18 rushing touchdowns, 9 by Fournette, and he's back there on 2nd and goal.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 1st down.
The situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Green 80. Green 80.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Bortles going to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Working from the gun. Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A strong safety, Barry Church, all over that one and knocked it away.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Eagles send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
380.
Bortles now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
380.
Now Bortles. And this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
line of scrimmage. Again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Bortles to throw once more. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time. But now you get to sit up here with me. Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards. And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump. So that one will be accepted.
Still 2nd down.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. It's caught by Moncrief. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense. Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Again, it's Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish. Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Back to throw. And he's got Moncrief. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Back to throw. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Rashad Green, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you've got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all.